Their guard play, Jackson, he's tremendous. They run pick and rolls and get up and down the court in isolations, which is, the thing that was interesting with Notre Dame is they just threw it to a couple guys, and it was not just scored on us. Like, you cannot guard me. And not little drives to the basket, step backs or pull-ups, and they've got a bunch of guys that can do that. The shooter who was out last game, which is probably why they got beat, I imagine he'll be back, and he can really shoot. He shoots. You almost, if he gets it off, it's in.
Obviously, their personnel is not quite the same as last year, but are they similar much to last year's team?
No, they're a little different, but they're good. They're a good team.
What do you think of your team, John, after you've had a night to digest last night? Where are you guys, especially defensively?
We're a November basketball team. That's all I can tell you. We watched the tape and stopped playing, didn't compete, didn't come up with 50-50 balls. Didn't play for one another, kind of separated a little bit. But that's first road game, and I knew we'd struggle, but I thought we'd compete, and that's the surprising thing. We just didn't battle them, and it was obvious they wanted the game more than we wanted the game.
2 games in 3 days. How does that factor into trying to go about the correcting process? Is it too fast? I mean,
I wish we had 9 days, but we don't. We have to play tomorrow afternoon, so we're going to watch film and walk through, and that's it. We can't practice. And, we got a couple days in between the Tuesday game, and then we got some time to really get this thing right, because we're not. It's not all them. We haven't figured out. We need to play the 2 bigs more. We got to figure out how we're going to play when we do it. We need to get Archie at 2 guard also, so we can get out ahead of the break. We got no breakout points because we're not able to throw it ahead to a guy that we've been able to in the past. We got a lot of things. How we're going to defend situations. I mean, look, and it's not. This is as much me figuring this out as it is them. The one thing that they have to bring is a competitive spirit and a will to win. I'll help them with all the other stuff. It doesn't matter what we put out. And I keep hearing, Cal's teams always get better as the year goes on, and they'll be in their best. Well, that's if you really work. If you fall in love with practice and improvement, and if you're in love with that, we're going to get better. I like my team. But if we don't, I don't have a magic wand. It's not what I do. So, we've got, this will be an interesting game. This will be a really hard game for us. I mean, Jackson, they're big people. They're going to get after it. Will we be tentative because we got beat? This is a tough one. It's what we need.
You say you were surprised about that. Was that a fear with this team, or did it come out of the blue?
No, I just think that you don't know how they're going to respond, and one of the things that happened in that game was they didn't come out like to attack and compete, because I didn't know what to expect. I mean, I didn't had any idea. And what they did is they kind of stepped back and let everything be dictated by Notre Dame, which is why the game turned out the way it did.
John, is there sort of an unpredictability about how they'll respond having lost and having another game?
No, I have no idea what to expect.
Is that difficult to?
No, I'm learning about my team. It's November. It'll be December 1st, and we've had Notre Dame on the road, Duke, Maryland, and Baylor, a team that could go for 100 in your first 6, 7 games. So, which means we've had as tough a schedule other than Duke, who's had the toughest schedule. Other than them, I would say our schedule's, and it's probably not fair for these young guys, but I'd rather learn right now what we have to do and get a clearer picture. And you don't get those clear pictures against bad teams.
Did you at least see we might lose this thing kind of urgency at any point there, not toward the end from them? That would give you an idea that they had a will to win?
I had some people call and say you could have got blown out. teams fought a little bit. And I'm like, I didn't see it on the table, but, so. We just, like I said, they have to learn and accept where they are. And then you gotta fall in love with the work. You gotta fall in love with the practice. You gotta fall in love with the conditioning. You gotta fall in love with everything. Then you'll get better. Then I just have to keep, it's hard for me to evaluate if you don't compete. Because I really don't know, is our pick and roll defense bad, or did you just not compete? Did we have a team that wasn't? Or, and that's a hard thing, and I think everybody saw it. But it's, when you're talking about a bunch of young kids and they're still a little bit confused, at times out there you can see it. We left corners, which you guys have listened to me for 4 years now. We don't leave the corners. We left corners left and right. One guy went down and was standing next to a guy for like 2 seconds. And then the ball was thrown, and then he started running, and it was a 3. We had another guy in the middle of the lane that got through a skip pass, and we have it on tape. When the ball was 3 inches from the guy's hand, the guy started moving. Bang. I mean, it's all those kind of things. And, you got to be in a stance, you got to stay in a stance. There are a lot of things we talked about as a staff that we start practicing again what we're going to do. But that's not now. I mean, right now we got a game tomorrow afternoon against a good opponent.
I'm sorry. Are the threes from the corner just the easiest of the threes to make? Is that why that's such a priority to?
Yeah, and we got shot blockers around the rim. So why would you leave so they pass to this guy, let him keep going and try to make it over a shot blocker? And, we just had guys out just come in the lane and give that shot up. And that guy drains it. I mean, and they missed 2 that we left corners. So there was more than a few. But again, it's game slippage. We're on the road in a great environment and a terrific opponent who plays well at home. And we weren't up for that.
John Julius said he thought they might have been a little shell-shocked by the atmosphere. I assume a young team's going to react that way.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, he came to Kentucky. I mean, you came here. You're going to get shell-shocked? Well, you're going to get shell-shocked every road game we play in. I almost wanted them to stay out on the court and see them storm the court to say, do you understand every road game, this is what will happen? Because you're at Kentucky. Shouldn't have come here if you didn't know that.
Does that mean they might put a little more fire at home tomorrow?
I don't know. I have no idea. Hopefully they do, but they may not.
You said Coach Bray said after the game, he pointed out that Alex is, I'm assuming this is correct, more of a power player in high school. He's learning to play more on the perimeter. How big of a hill is that for him or any guy?
Patrick Patterson, same kind of deal. Very similar. But again, that's wasn't the issue. The issue was stopping our defense. And 4 of his fouls were not, they were fighting screens because he stopped. Then he has to fight the screen and foul. I mean, so I don't think the thing that he and a few of the guys have to crack is you got to play the whole time you're on the court. You're playing. You don't stop. Especially, you won't believe this if the ball's in play. If somebody's bouncing it or someone has it, you got to keep playing.
Speaking of which, there was, I'm sorry, go ahead.
With the short turnaround, what do you hope to address with this team since you can't get out on the court and get a
We're
road
going to
game?
we'll walk through our stuff. There's 3 or 4 things I want to show them for us, and then 3 or 4 things we'll show them for them. The main thing is, again, we're going to watch the tape, and hopefully it's very clear that the other guy played harder than our guy played. And there'll be 50 times you'll see, now, why did he get this and you didn't get it? Why didn't you play before this screen? We didn't get open on a screen. You see you didn't get open, but your man got open. Tell me how. They ran us into the pick and rolls. Why didn't you run them into the pick and rolls? It's just stuff that they did, they executed, and they played hard. And you got to see it on the tape, and then that's learning. That's part of what we do. And this is not easy here. Coaching a bunch of young guys, 4th straight year, it's not easy. But they all knew it. I knew it, and you're going to lose some games.
You mentioned Archie earned the point guard spot, but then also you said it would be nice to have him too for that transition.
Yeah, we're still in flux. He did not play well at that position. He was out of control most of the game. But he's still learning. He got a little rattled by it, and so the issue becomes you got to get him up the court at times, which is the dilemma, because if you throw it ahead to him, he makes something happen good. He's kind of like Michael Gilchrist was. But, you know, playing him in the pick and rolls and doing different things has made us a better team. Defensively, he's longer. So,
But kind of like a quarterback situation where you have which guy gets first team reps at point guard. Is there going to be a point where you might have to switch it back to Ryan?
well, we could put he or Jared in and let him play point and let this kid play two, and then if it's half-court pick and roll, it can still be a kid. We have some things we can do, but let me explain again. A will to win and a competitive spirit is what we're fighting for right now. And when our fans watch these kids play, either they fight like heck and you'll cheer, or they're not going to fight like heck. They're going to get beat to balls, they're going to beat to offensive rebounds, we'll be standing up, we'll get hung up on screens, we'll get hung up on pick and rolls, and they won't. Well, if they're not, that means they're competing harder than you, and that's where we are right now. Just let's get the competitive spirit going. I probably last week started working on situations too soon. See, there's not a situation when you're down 15. There is no situations. There's no 3-point, you're going to go 5-point plays 3 times in a row. There are no situations. So we worked on situations and got away from the competitive spirit. It just shows we're not ready to move forward yet. I keep saying the same thing. You got to go step at a time. I wanted us farther. We're not ready for that. This is where we are right now. The love of learning and the practice, they get that, we'll be fine. Anything else? All right, thanks, guys.